You're listening to the All Systems Go podcast, the show that teaches you everything you need to know to put your business on autopilot. Learn how to deploy automated marketing and sales systems in your business the right way with your host, the professor of automation himself and founder of Automation Bridge, Chris Davis.
Welcome to the All Systems Go podcast. I'm your host, Chris L. Davis, the founder of Automation Bridge, an online publication for small business marketing automation, where we focus on turning digital marketing professionals into automation service providers. In this episode, listen, everybody, I want to keep it simple and timely, and I want to express my gratitude for a variety of things and people. I don't know about you, but 2020, I think it's safe to say 2020 has been a rough year for most people. Okay. And sometimes we just have to slow down and recalibrate with our mind and heart on what you're thankful for. You know, there's no doubt that many of us have been surrounded by people who have been complaining in person, digitally, via social media. And there's still so much to be thankful for. So if you're in the U.S. today, when this podcast launches, we will be celebrating Thanksgiving. It's a holiday that we celebrate every year. And it's got many origins, but the main theme is to be thankful for. Is to be thankful, and you surround yourself with family and friends, people you care about, and share thanks over food, games, movies, variety of traditions. So I felt like it'd be appropriate for the All Systems Go podcast to show our thanks and to show my thanks to you. So before we get started, make sure that you are subscribed to the All Systems Go podcast. We release new episodes every Thursday. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an episode. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and you can subscribe on YouTube. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, do me a favor, listen to it in its entirety. And at the end, there'll be an invitation for you to subscribe and leave your 5-star rating and review. If you haven't left a 5-star rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. If you do so now, this podcast will continue to play in the background as you exit out and go into the app and leave a 5-star rating and review. And perhaps you don't even have to leave to do so. All of your ratings, reviews, and listenership are greatly appreciated. All right. So this year, 2020 has been a doozy. For those of you who follow me and have been an avid listener to the podcast, you all know I've always stated my COVID started early, right? With me being fired at the end of 2019, walking into a new year with a lot of uncertainty, a lot of opposition and adversity. And then before I could even really get my footing set firmly, here comes COVID, right? COVID had a plan of its own to shake things up. And not to mention this year, just the roster of celebrities, entertainers, public figures, and just as important, regular people, from family members to friends to workers on the front line, whether you're in law enforcement, working in hospitals, or the medical field in any capacity, frontline folks that just didn't have the privilege and opportunity to stay home and unfortunately got exposed, to this deadly virus. All these lives are equal. Just because you're not a celebrity does not mean that your life did not impact other people's, if not greater than someone on the big screen. So we just have taken, as a nation, really as a world, we've taken a lot of losses this year. And it felt like at the end of every month, you found yourself bracing for the next. I know by the time my son and my nephew came up to me and said, "Hey, Dad, we lost Black Panther," I was just like, "Look, y'all, time out. 2020, just time out. Can we just pause? Man, what is going on?" Right? So it has been tumultuous to say the least. right? And you throw in the political climate, and I mean, this year has just been full of it, right? So at the same time, there's still so much to be thankful for. So in spite of whatever you may have experienced, whatever you are going through, whatever you are nervous about, apprehensive for, things that didn't work out, there's still so many reasons to say thank you. And for starters, if you can hear my voice right now, you're still here. You're still living, and you're still full of unlimited potential. Okay, as one of my favorite motivational speakers, Les Brown, says, die empty. Don't go to the grave with all of this potential, all of this value inside of you. There's no greater time than now to start unleashing your living. If anything, it should be clear as day, from young to old, our lifetime is finite. It's finite. Nobody's here forever, and you don't know when your clock is coming to get punched. That time card, I should say. Right? We just don't know. The Reaper does not respect anybody. It comes when it wants to come, and it takes who it's ready to take, who it's allowed to take. Right? So whatever you've been holding back for the perfect time, maybe it's the perfect time to start a new business, change jobs, make a shift in your current business, whatever it is, learning, investing, new relationship, whatever that is, there's no better time than now. Okay. Die empty. Put it all out there. You know what the athletes say? I left it all on the field. I left it all on the court. Leave it all in life. Leave it out there. Die empty. And I'm not one to take for granted, not just big things, but simple things. I feel like I'm a very introspective and reflective individual. People who know me personally know I'm always in deep thought and just really taking a step back saying, wow, I can't believe where we are. I'm the type of person, I'll be watching my flat screen TV, and I'll just pause and be like, man, I remember a time where buying a flat screen TV was just like, oh my gosh, how do people do it? So I've always kept a level of thankfulness on my mind and heart, but even more so at the time of recording this podcast, everything, it means something different to me because when I say I'm not exaggerating. I just came out of quarantine from recovering from COVID. Didn't know I had it, thought it was my allergies. I have really bad allergies, plus I'm asthmatic. So, there's a lot of times where I get sick and it's just a combination of those two things. So not even understanding that I had it, and being in a home with kids and my wife and, exposing them to it. I mean, there was a guilt feeling, just a bad feeling as the man of the household, the leader. I've brought in this virus, the enemy, right? But understanding that so many people across the globe were not as fortunate as I am. I'm beyond thankful to be here, to be able to speak into this microphone, to be able to report to you that I made a full recovery. My family is making a full recovery. I can't. Thankful is probably the least blessed. Just beyond words, just to be here, thankful to be heard, thankful to be seen, thankful to be breathing and be able to take full advantage of all that's in store for me. Not to say you need to get COVID to be thankful, but it most definitely helped me get into a deeper mindset of thankfulness than I'm usually in. So what would this podcast be without me expressing thanks for technology? I mean, this is what has brought us all together, right? Is the technology. And I don't know if you all have ever heard a podcast or heard somebody being thankful for technology. So this may be a little different for you, but just follow me. I feel like this episode in itself is going to give you not just a better understanding of me, who I am, but also what it takes to do what I do, to run a business, to understand that there's a personal side to Chris. Like when he's not teaching and training from the stage or running programs and podcasts and videos, I'm living in quarantine for the last 10 to 14 days. But, I'm living. I have a family. I have issues in life. I get on my wife's nerves. I rub people the wrong way. I'm a person. I'm no greater or better than anyone else. I'm just me doing the best that I can to improve daily. Right. So when I think about that improvement, technology has been a huge factor. So I want to go down the list. And before I start to say thank you, this goes without saying, there is a huge asterisk. I am going to forget somebody, something. OK, do not charge my heart, charge my head. I try to even sit down and say, you know what, I'm going to write it out so I don't forget anybody. But then it was a little too static and I wanted it to be a little more organic. So whatever comes to mind, I'm thinking about this year and just everything that has gone into bringing me to this point. And I will first like to start off by saying I'm thankful for Infusionsoft and Office Autopilot for creating and holding the torch and blazing a path for small businesses and marketing automation. Without these two companies, everybody, there is no small business marketing automation space as we know it. Whether you like the tools or not, we all owe them our gratitude, every single one of them. Without them, there is no Active Campaign. There is no ConvertKit and all of these other tools and Kartras and drips, and they don't exist. Because Infusionsoft and Office Autopilot were the two tools when nothing else was available. They were available. So I'm forever grateful and thankful for the Mask and Martinall family, as well as Landon Ray, for having the mind to say, you know what? Let's change small business, how it's done. I'm thankful for that. I really am. And I'm thankful for Active Campaign for stepping in when they both dropped the ball, when Infusionsoft and Entreport just couldn't get it together for whatever reasons. Right. We could talk about that later. The throne was left vacant. You had a group, a huge audience of small business owners that wanted to get into marketing automation. And Infusionsoft overcomplicated it. Entreport just wasn't evolving fast enough to meet the needs. And Active Campaign stepped in with an affordable, flexible, and powerful option and just really took the vacant seat. You could argue, hey, why didn't they have to knock out the champ? Well, the two champs knocked themselves out and just left the crown there. Why not come in, put the crown on, So I'm thankful for that because it serves the space. It serves the space and gives us what we need. I'll be even more thankful as the landscape gets a little bit more competitive. Hasn't been as competitive as it could be. But listen, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with where we are right now, and I'm looking forward to where we'll go in the realms of marketing automation technology. And I've got to throw HubSpot in there as well. I'm thankful for HubSpot for serving agencies with inbound marketing for as long as they have. Not marketing automation. I will never claim HubSpot as a marketing automation platform. They don't even claim it. They do some automation, very linear based, but I'm thankful for them holding it down for agencies and even bringing their offer a bit closer to the small business space to help help these small businesses navigate the digital age. These are the top players for small businesses, so I'm just thankful for that. I'm thankful for MailChimp for offering a solid email marketing solution over the years for those that aren't ready for marketing automation. I mean, MailChimp has been that getting started, at least that gateway into digital marketing. You know what? I'm thankful for Eye Contact for banning me from their platform when I was a young digital marketer, misusing it by importing lists for the people who I didn't get permission from and sending, and without that a firm slap on the hand like, you better not do this. It kept me on the straight and narrow path as a marketer, because I was veering, especially listening to these internet marketers, right? I'm thankful for GetResponse for pushing the email marketing envelope and not settling for the basic list-based automation when no one else was focusing on doing so. I mean, I'm talking right around 2012-ish, a little earlier. It was all about the list. Aweber was list-based. MailChimp was list-based. Eye Contact list-based. And GetResponse came and said, hey, what if you could segment across all the lists? Why don't we give people a little more flexibility? That was game-changing, and it gave me an opportunity to use a new platform and really start to get my automation feet under me early, right? I'm thankful for WordPress. I've never built a website on anything besides WordPress since I found WordPress. Before, I was using Dreamweaver and HTML stuff and tried a few Weeblies here and there. But it's a timeless website solution. It powers more business websites than anything. And is it complex at times? Yes. Is it a bit nerve-wracking and frustrating? Yes. But when I think back on the web presence I've been able to build for myself, for clients at times, WordPress just keeps coming for the win. It really does. I can't imagine or foresee me using any other website platform. But at the same time, I understand everybody's not like me. And there are some people who are just like, oh, I can't stand WordPress plugins, this and that, right? So I'm thankful for all of the hosted solutions that provide an easier, though less flexible, solution for the market, right? From the Kajabis to Teachables to Squarespace, Kartras, etc. All of these tools that, they take on the hosting for you. They handle the traffic for you. They handle the bandwidth, right? ClickFunnels, lead pages, all of these hosted solutions, whether it's for your website or marketing technology in general. I'm thankful for it. I don't often rely on hosted solutions because I like the flexibility. I don't mind getting my hands a little dirty. And my approach to building systems is, okay, I'm okay if it's a little complex up front. If ongoing, it gives me a powerful solution that requires less maintenance. I'm fine with that. That's just how I approach it, right? Speaking of complexity, I'm thankful for membership plugins that integrate with your CRM based on tags and custom fields. Right? ActiveMember 360, iMember 360, same company, just one for ActiveCampaign, one for Infusionsoft. Memberium, right? These changed the landscape for me when it came to membership sites, because I always felt limited with just member levels and pages and all of that. Shout out to MemberMouse. MemberMouse, there was a time where when I was building out membership sites, MemberMouse was like the premium approach to membership sites. So shout out to MemberMouse. But these membership plugins that integrate with your CRM, it changed everything, because now I can automate access. I'm automate. I want to automate everything. I can automate when you get access to a particular course, to a particular page, to a particular resource, all based on tags. If I'm operating my CRM from a mobile app, from my phone, I can apply a tag to a record and give somebody access to something. I mean, it's amazing, right? And I'm thankful for LearnDash, though overly complicated in a lot of ways to configure. I'm constantly frustrated with how many clicks it takes to do simple stuff. Don't get me wrong. LearnDash is not without its flaws. Oh my goodness. I get a whole podcast on that, but it does provide the purest learning experience. And it integrates with your CRM, of course, using these plugins in a way that is just unmatched. I don't care what platform you say you're using. It does not integrate and provide the learning experience like a CRM integrated by way of a membership plugin with LearnDash. It just doesn't. And I'm thankful for it. I have my frustrations like the next person. I'm in the Facebook groups and I see the post. I'm like, yep, I know. It shouldn't be this hard. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for JotForm for allowing me a simple way to process payments before shopping cart technology evolved. Back when one shopping cart was the only option and everybody was using authorized.net, mixed in with all of these other platforms because you just didn't know. I remember I was using a platform called BluePay for a while, and that was complicated to configure. So JotForm came in and allowed you to take payments fairly easily. I was able to sell my services. That was me. That was for me before there was, Moon Clerks and Thrive Carts and all of this other stuff. It was JotForm, a simple way to just get up a nice, clean payment form and take payment. But after shopping cart technology did evolve, Thrive Cart, thank you. Thank you for providing more than flexible and affordable option. Coming from at the time configuring Infusionsoft products, which I hated. I haven't done it in a while, but back then I hated Infusionsoft's flow. I knew how to, add code to make my checkout pages look really nice, but I just didn't enjoy the back-end configuration process. Right. So you have ThriveCart, and not only does it make that process so simple, it's so well integrated with your CRM, your membership platform, upsells, downsells, order bumps, all of that, and lifetime pricing. I pay one time and I don't have to pay again. So I'm thankful for ThriveCart. I mean, ThriveCart handles about 90% of my payment processing right now. Airtable. Thank you, Airtable. Airtable and Notion, they're one and the same, really. I found myself bouncing back between them. I'm starting to use Airtable. I'm starting to realize the difference between when I use Notion and Airtable. But thank you for giving me productivity and organizational abilities I never even knew I needed. I didn't. I was fine with how I had things organized using Google Drive and links and documents and presentations and all that. You guys came and changed the game. Speaking of Google, thank you for continuing to evolve G Suite. Right. There was a time where, as a Mac user, early Mac user, this was years ago, I was like, what am I going to do without Word, though? I'm always going to need to buy Microsoft Word. And to see Google Suite really evolve to where now you can open up Word documents without converting them. You can edit them online without having to own Microsoft Office software, spreadsheets too. I don't know if you all knew that, but thank you. Thank you for making it easy. Google Slides has become just so valuable in my business. I build pretty much all my slides in it, right? Any device at any time, just log in, update it, boom. Got templates, everything. Not as easy to use as Keynote and, other software, but I've learned my way around. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for this software, everybody. This is the technology. Where will we be? And this is just a small snippet, right? My technology library is expansive, right? Trello. Thank you, Trello, for introducing me to project management software. It was the first project management software I've ever used was Trello years ago. And thank you, ClickUp, for taking it to the next level. I've always struggled after Trello. Okay, then you try Asana, then Teamwork, then Basecamp, then all of these other platforms, right? But ClickUp came and just gave me a means of a platform that I could understand. There's still some areas that I'm still confused on, but the automation piece that they've added to it is just like, I'm home. A project management software that you can automate. I'm home. So thank you, ClickUp, for creating a home for me. And of course, Zapier. Thank you for being my digital duct tape. Zapier, I don't know if you know how many times you have saved me. I have lost count. I mean, I could be doing work for myself or trying to help somebody else out. It's just like, man, we just need to get this data over here. And it's like, oh, Zapier, get the duct tape, everybody, get the Gorilla Glue, right? The digital Gorilla Glue. And let's make it happen, right? Thankful for it. Gravity Forms. Gravity Forms is, again, it's WordPress based. So any WordPress based software is going to be more complex to use just because the WordPress ecosystem is not as user friendly as most self-hosted hosted platforms. Right. But Gravity Forms, I tell you, the plugins and add-ons can get a little expensive. They can add up depending on what you're trying to do, but it is the most flexible, most functional form software that I've used on my website. It really is. And just some quick honorable mentions when it comes to marketing technology: ConvertFlow, ConvertBox for giving just a very, very so much flexibility in terms of lead generation. Right? All of the form software that makes collecting information easy, Typeform, changed the game with conversational forms, right? They really did. They made a name for themselves like that. Already mentioned JotForm, right? Thrive Themes for providing marketers an easy set of marketing suite to get started with lead generation. I'm thankful for the ClickFunnels and lead pages. Without you going head to head like you did, landing pages wouldn't be as evolved as they are, right? The designs, the function, the flow. I'm just thankful for all of this technology that we have at our disposal. And lastly, I'm thankful for the skill of being able to assess technology accurately. I don't take it for granted. I've talked about this in a previous episode. Who should assess technology and who should not? You know, we've covered that. And I'm thankful to be one who should and does really well. I really am. It is a skill set that I know is unique and extremely valuable now and going forward in today's digital age. Okay, so that's just some technology. And this is more like software. I'm not even talking about Audio-Technica, Focusrite, MacBook, Apple for MacBooks, iPads, AirPods, Logitech for cameras, LG for this long curved widescreen monitor that I'm looking at, Bose for speakers. I mean, Beats headsets, various USB devices, my presentation clicker, my trackpad, my solar powered keyboard. I mean, it helps get the job done. When I sit down at my desk and I look at all of this, I'm just thankful. It's clean, simple. Google's home Wi-Fi, along with my gigabit internet service provider. I mean, I'm just thankful, everybody. I really am. And there are a few people as well that have made this year in business special. Again, this was my first calendar year from January to January, full time, in business. And first and foremost, there's no way you guys will ever hear me give thanks anywhere without giving thanks to my wife, for just always holding it down in terms of just the household and emotional supports and need, always supporting me and being my sounding board, even when I know she doesn't want to. Just imagine the amount you hear on this podcast times like 100. She's like, okay, enough. Let's just eat dinner, My kids for giving me the everlasting fuel to keep pushing regardless of how I feel. I just listen to their little giggles and laughs and just the joy in their life. And it keeps me going. Being down with COVID, that was the hardest part about it. Not staying in a confined room, not being able to not leave or anything. It was hearing their voices and their feet running around and not being able to hug and kiss on them. So I'm thankful Thankful I get to hug my kids and kiss on them and hopefully one day smell them when my smell comes back. You know, my team, I've got a lean team, but we get it. Oh my goodness, we get it done. And the reason why I can operate so effectively with a lean team is because I've worked with so many different startup teams, and I've taken and learned so much from each one of them to understand how to really get the most out of everybody by using the tools that I mentioned in an organizational process oriented way. So first and foremost, Rachel Merchant, Rachel, thank you for keeping me organized and on track to get this new program and certification launched and out the door. Everybody needs somebody that's going to push them. Rachel is my operations manager, and she is always asking those questions that you don't want to answer because it's making you make a decision. Hey, are we still doing this? Hey, what about this? Hey, where's this located? Hey, what time frame are we thinking about this? Okay, you said we're going to do it. Let me work backwards and get all the dates together. And it becomes real. It's no longer is it just an idea like, hey, I'm thinking about this. Right? It becomes real. And it was uncomfortable a lot of the time. But I needed that. Cassie Sorten for showing up as my marketing VA from day one, showing up and showing out. I mean, you just dove right in from creating Canva graphics, landing pages, learning Slack fast, and all of the other technology. We move fast, everybody. Internally, we move fast, and there's a system, though, of how we use Slack, ClickUp, posting to a Slack channel, active campaign events, posting, marketing channels, all of that. When you tag somebody here, updating things in ClickUp, like it is a full system. So all the Voxers, ClickUp building, Slack messages, strategy ideating. I'm just thankful for my team with helping me get all of this stuff done. Everything that you see from the production of this podcast, graphics on the website. This is there's no way I could do this by myself. No way. So I'm definitely thankful for you two for that and a variety of other things that you both do on a day-to-day basis. I'm so thankful for you. Stella for always supplying top-notch graphics whenever I need it, whether it's for a presentation or the website. Stella is always there. Tanya Brody for the friendship this year and the copy. If you don't have a copywriter and a copywriting friend, what are you waiting on? That is one of the top needs for every business online is you need some copy. You do. Jeff Winberg, man, all the way back from lead pages to now, just a constant sounding board, right? Strategy, another strategic mindset regulator. Jeff's always, we'll talk and Jeff will always bring up, is that the most powerful way to think about that? And just overall friend through all of the transitions. It is rare that working in the startup space that you meet people that friendship goes beyond just your time together there. So I'm thankful for that. Thomas K.R. Stovall. Wow. I need an entire podcast for you, my brother. I really do. But I'm thankful for the timing in which you entered my life and the care that the caution you've taken with developing our personal and professional relationship, resources you've shared, right? Like it has been, you're a rare breed that I didn't know existed. and I believe the feeling is mutual. And this is both professionally and personally. And I'm definitely looking forward to the future. Charles Kirkland for taking all my advertising needs by the horn so quickly and getting down to business. It's rare and always good to do business with good people. Good people, not just professionally good people, but just personally, people with integrity. Okay. My new mentors this year, John Semanowitz from Integrity. Wow. Your timely guidance, willingness to listen and impart wisdom on me. I always find myself in a position of being a student, no matter how, people may look up to, oh, you're so smart. You've done this, you've done that. I'm always a student. And John is somebody who I was able to meet in a meeting capacity. I saw how he conducted himself, the questions that he asked, how he handled clients in a way that could have went left and it didn't. How he's able to rein things in. I said, oh my goodness, there's so much to learn from this man. And with open arms, you welcomed me and my questions and my seeking for guidance, and then Influence Ecology for all of the leadership training that has stretched me uncomfortably this year. And my small group, right? Paul, Tanya, Kim, thank you all for challenging and giving a space to grow in leadership. I'm thankful for, co-founders and founders are tough. Good ones are tough to come across. I'll say that because, you are who you are, and what you do shows through, right? And what you don't shows through. What you don't do, what you don't take care of. I mean, when I say what you don't do, the hangups, your personal mess, it shows up professionally. So to find good founders, one of the sharpest minds, most kind, intelligent, and astute founders I've met today I've had the opportunity to work with Eric Shetty. I'm thankful, man. I'm so thankful for you being in my life and our time together, and what the future has to hold, man. I'm saying that with a grin, and you probably know why. Okay. Good people in business. You just have to keep track of them. You have to stay connected. And though paths may part for a time, good people in business, there's always a reason to come back together, because you're not going to find an overflow of good people in business. Okay. Thankful for you, Eric. And just your thoughtfulness, man. Just all around. Good dude, great founder, strong business mind. And to another, one of the sharpest, most kind, all of those things too. But this founder is someone who I've seen take their first company from idea to fast growing in a way that's authentic, done in excellence, and really in a way that is just, oh my goodness, it's exemplary. To navigate with these big corporations in the way that you have, always thinking about people first and value to the market. How you conduct yourself in terms of a leader and casting vision and making sure that everybody understands and feels cared for, and it's another sharp mind beyond business alone. And that's my best friend, Paul Robinson. Thank you for our friendship and the multiple configurations of it. We've been able to put it through successfully in the past years, right? Some friendships don't make it. It's like, look, let's just stay with talking about basketball, because anytime we do anything else, we have problems, right? And every single person that has put a single dollar into my business this year, thank you, all caps and exclamation, thank you. From my mentorship students of old to the new automation service providers in training, everyone in the community, those who have brought me on to consult, small projects, speaking engagements. I cannot thank you enough for showing up in your business daily and doing so in a way that helps others and including me in the process. I am so limited without you. Okay. I am in myself and my family are thankful for your ongoing support, your ongoing commitment through showing you showing up in the community in these various programs, I just can't thank you enough. I'm so thankful for my community right now, everybody. Just a personal note. I'm a community person. We're just better together. And when you find a good community, it's one that you stick with. Because again, it's not like there's communities everywhere. So my online community full of marketing, automation experts, professionals, and the conversations that we have when it comes down to just new tools, to conversing on the podcast, about the podcast, to strategies, asking for help. It's a place where I feel so comfortable, and I know you all do too. And I'm just thankful to have that. I really am. Right. And for every offer that I had to turn down this year, thank you for thinking of me, and thank you for your consideration. I am truly thankful. There's a timing element to everything. You can have the right skills, the right opportunity, but if it's not the right time, you have to be mindful of that, and I'm hopeful that you will keep me in consideration going forward. But thank you for every offer. Okay. And then on the personal side, there's a few more people I just want to highlight. Again, I hope this is giving you a full view of, the back end of it, of what it all takes to do what I'm doing, to show up how I show up. It's not just me. I have a huge village. Okay. I want to thank Joel and Naomi Mitchell for helping my wife and I keep our marriage strong through these trying times. When I was at Active Campaign traveling, 3 to 4 days a week back to back, it was a heavy strain on my family. And I didn't realize it. And then by the time I did realize it and requested relief, we all know how that story ended. So in that, you were able to really help us at a trying time and get our marriage back on track. And you two are continually giving us tools and support to do so. And I feel like we are stronger today than we've ever been, which means everything, because I can't do what I'm doing if I've got a broken home, if my marriage is not together. This doesn't matter. You won't hear my voice in this capacity. Nathan Brooks, a well-timed new friend and brother that our families have been able to integrate easily and do life together with. You have to have people aligned with your vision, goals, where you're at and where you're going, to do life with. We're not created to do life alone. So I'm thankful for our new friendship and brotherhood. Boyce Watkins, for your willingness and openness to go beyond business buddies, right? And venture into this realm of friendship. You and your lovely fiance, Alicia, and kids. I mean, we get together and it's just seamless, and I'm thankful for that. Jason Gaston, my neighbor, for all of the morning Starbucks talks when we could. This was pre-COVID, everybody. But there's just, you need to surround yourself with people who can sharpen you in various areas of your life, especially as men. I call it my iron inventory. Iron sharpens iron. How many people do you have that sharpen you in the various areas? Brother, uncle, husband, father, friend, professional, right? You're going to have different people that keep you sharp in all of those areas. Dr. Charles Rogers. Speak a little cryptic here, but thank you for owning it, not abandoning our relationship through it, and being a continual ear and voice of reason. This life, man, life as we see, full of surprises, full of congratulations and full of letdowns, and to navigate all of it together, man. I'm thankful for that opportunity. The Dr. R.A. Vernon and the Word Church, Pastor Darius Daniels, Pastor Smokey Norfolk, collectively, in no particular order of importance, but thank you for providing the spiritual support and guidance for my entire family, whether we're tuning in online or going to church physically when we could. These are the people that these are the organizations and people and pastors and that keep us going. They do. They keep us going in hard times when you just can't see it. And you need faith to take it to where your flesh can't go. You're just like, look, I'm tapped out. Doesn't make sense. I give up, So thank you for that. Last but definitely not least, my family, immediate to extended. I'm thankful that though, we've had some losses, we've lost some loved ones. It hasn't been a lot. There are times in the past where it felt like somebody was leaving us every month, hard times. This year, though we've had some tough losses. When I say family, I'm talking about my side and my wife's side. There have still been some tough losses, but it has slowed this year for us personally. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful to just be thought of. Thankful to see you all's faces on FaceTime, hear your voices, all the care and concern that you guys extended my way when I was down. I'm thankful for all of it. And of course, I could keep going for months, probably, honestly. But my hope is I hope this gives you some perspective on things that you can be grateful for today and moving forward. Gratitude, it's a muscle. It's a muscle that should be flexed multiple times a day, no matter what you're facing. An attitude of gratitude is the only attitude worth having all of the time. So I'm thankful and grateful. Every one of you that has listened to and shared this podcast, I don't take your attention for granted. And I look forward to meeting some of you, and even meeting you digitally or in the community or programs in the near future. Thank all of you who are sharing this stuff. And like, I'm not saying, hey, go check this out. I mean, some of you are strong advocates. You're like, listen, no, you don't need to do it this way because I listen to this podcast and you don't understand. This guy knows what he's talking about. And he said, like, for real, I appreciate that. I really do. Doesn't matter if you listened to one episode, got distracted and forgot to come back. Thank you. Thank you for that time. Okay. So, who do you need to say thank you to? Who is the person that has been so instrumental for you in your life that you just, maybe they haven't heard you say thank you in a while, right? You know what? I wasn't going to do it because I'm like, I always say it, but I said it because I said my wife and I've said a few other things, but I can never, I will never. It's a rule. I just made it up right now on this podcast while I'm recording it. I'll never not say thanks to my spiritual father. I just have to. Bishop Benford, Bishop John L. Benford. He's just done too much for me to even start. I will risk the chance of getting emotional, but just been a valuable resource, somebody who is truly invested. It doesn't have to be. It just didn't sit well, not saying his name on a podcast where I'm thankful. And I just, again, you as a man, you need a library of men to help you become a better man. And you do that for me in every facet of my existence. Okay. I got to stop because I'll keep thinking of more people, and more things, right? Cell phones, Google, listen, Android. I'm team Android. I have Apple everything, but an Android phone. It just works for me. It's so flexible and it just allows me to do so much so easily. Okay. Anyways, again, who do you need to say thank you? Thank you to, maybe for this one, let's do something a little different instead of who needs to hear this, right? Maybe you sit down and listen to this with your team, right? Maybe you sit down and just listen and just go through and pause and say, you know what, I'm thankful for you guys. This launch, it didn't have to go as well as it did. I'm thankful, like whatever the case is, please, just make sure you're always expressing thanks for those that you work with, work next to, work over, and work under. Just please do so. If you found this episode valuable in any capacity, if you're thankful for me taking some time to express my thanks openly, like this, now is the time to say thank you by leaving a 5-star rating and review. It helps us get the word out and really validate this podcast as the bona fide, just worth listening to every week, binge-worthy podcast. Otherwise, Apple Podcasts doesn't know, right? So as always, here at Automation Bridge, we're dedicated to training digital marketing professionals to become automation service providers. I'm thankful for that opportunity. I really am, because small businesses are in dire need of it. They need marketers with the ability to deploy technology in a systematic way for their rapid growth. Okay. So as much as I've expressed thanks for my community, right, of automation specialists where we're sharing tools, strategies, discussing the podcast deeper. I put private videos in there where, I'm assessing the landscape of marketing automation and just everybody, rubbing shoulders with other sharp minds in other industries. But the common denominator is automation, right? Helping to shorten the learning curve in various ways. It's a community built for anybody that's looking to leverage automation. And I'm thankful for it. And if you would like to come and join us, I will be glad to have you. Okay. You can go to automationbridge.com/join to see a little bit more about the community. Everybody stay safe. Stay safe today. Again, this for those of you who are my live listeners. So you're getting this podcast on Thanksgiving. Stay safe, everybody. Don't risk it. Do not risk it. Again, I made a full recovery. I'm thankful for it, but I am fully aware it could have went the other way. It really could have. So stay safe. I want you all to remain healthy for your families, for your friends, for your loved ones, for your business, and the value that you provide to the world. Okay. All the show notes and podcasts are accessible at automationbridge.com. You can subscribe there and listen to episodes at your leisure. So until next time, I see you online. Thank you, and automate responsibly, my friends.